The Battlefield, Upstairs, Jay Battle, Mercy Miller, Creeps Facility. We're looking at the track Thankful Grateful. So, let's take a dive back in time till the date of August 28th, 2020, in the hills of Boulder, Colorado. A young man, in his diary, started a song by the name of Cloudy Judgment. And that is this. There are some lyrics in here that I had written in a pad that morning where I just wrote down whatever came to mind, and then I tried to put a melody to it after. Here we are.
Paper burning, I had earned it, overworking, still in person, wasn't certain what was hurting. Go high, go in a let go, surrender,
mumble here.
Surrender, Lord. Full life, full innocent, rolling so long in sorrow. Full life, don't die, those innocent, rolling like so long.
The plucking piano was there to kind of give it the quarter, eighth note sort of pulsing thing happening throughout the song. And that was because my cadences were going to be on these different offbeats and pauses. What was interesting is I just always kept coming back to the feeling in this version, and I wanted to try to capture it as much as possible. And how I ended up doing that was taking a resampled part of this piano part here and pitching this down with the sub. So I think it's something like this. And then I just took that and put that in a new key with different filtering later at the end. So this is the session 1. Let's see how it progressed. Version 2 here. We're looking forward into the future a little more. In this version, started to get a little antsy on the production. So even though the lyrics weren't all the way written yet, I hadn't quite learned the lesson that I know now, which is unless there are vocals, I probably won't put it out as an alter track, and it'll just end up in a scrapyard of other beats. The most helpful way to start a song is just coming with vocals to the most simplistic production possible, like that last session.
Live for others, bigger picture, solve the puzzle, piece together, read the scripture, wasn't humble, Lord forgive me.
Starting to get the pacing down and the melody that is in the final song.
Showtime, no lies, are you living yet? No, I'm thankful, grateful, I saw more lives and get noticed. One day I'll die, locked and loaded, yeah. No murder, only motive. Yeah. That dirt is worthless and dumb.
So this session is really interesting. I actually have a distinct memory with this. I started to infuse the musical style into the beat of something that I thought the type of person that would like this song would like. I started using guitars, a little more like pluck bass sounds, so I guess that worked out.
Found my purpose, I deserve it. Fucking working, still in person. Wasn't certain what was hurting. Cloudy judgment, I recovered. Suffered from it, wonder was it really what I fucking wanted?
So it's so crazy. Why I really love shooting these, is in addition to being able to reflect upon my own process, is shedding some light on the fact that everything is so messy in my process, at least, and a lot of the people that I work with. We do a lot of different things. We flip over a lot of different rocks, so to speak. If we want to try something, we just try it, and then we see if we like it more than the thing before it. And sometimes that requires time in between or perspective, or showing it to a friend to get a refreshed perspective, but it is always really important, I think, and fulfilling in the process of becoming a better artist to allow yourself to try other things. This version of the song didn't see the light of day, and there's a lot of complex production in here that I ended up throwing away as productive, creative waste, I guess. It still was valuable in another side of the duality to gain new insight into the process.
Lies, are you living yet? Go, I'm thankful, grateful, I saw those eyes so right, such an innocent soul, no better treasure your flaws. Your flaws. Your flaws. Your flaws.
After I'd produced this, sure, I felt really proud of the drums and the fills and all of that, but then when I opened up the older session, I just decided that I liked the simplicity and the feeling of all the other demos. Cool. So, in the final project session of Thankful Grateful, how it came about was actually only in 5 minutes. So, what I ended up doing was taking the vocals from the other project, bringing them in at the tempo that I wanted, which was 150. This is essentially an idea grab folder of all of my other Ableton project files that didn't make it into songs and that I've opened since then and categorized in this folder. Trappy drums at 160. But these are actual project files just like this. So when I drag them in, everything is already going to time stretch accordingly, or if it's a MIDI loop, it'll adjust its tempo so I can bring in and try ideas really quickly. I think I did bring in one. This is the idea grabs folder. Pull it in and boom, now I have this snare already brought in with the processing, drum bus.
Resurrection, first impressions, worth the struggle, one direction, Armageddon.
But we could just on the fly
hate to mention
remix.
Resurrection, first impressions, worth the struggle.
I very heavily recommend trying to start one of your own idea libraries. I already had these bass patches mixed together, and that made it really easy. So we have my thumper sample, thumper with some stereo widening and an R bass, and then the top end pluck. I really like this sound. I think I'm gonna just save specifically this into the idea grabs folder, and we'll just call it, no, actually it's not gonna go in the idea grabs folder. This needs to go, oh no, it will actually. We'll rename this Thankful Grateful Sub 150 BPM, and I don't know the key right now, but now I have that sub. If I want to drag that into another project file and use it again later, maybe I want to use the riff, maybe I want to use the sound, but both of those will come in exactly how I have it in this group here, even with this plugin and this plugin already on it.
For others, bigger picture, solve the puzzle.
See what's going on with the kick over here. Yeah, I'm going to also export the kick. I'm going to export that as Thankful Grateful Stomp.
Live for others, bigger picture, solve the puzzle, piece together, read the scripture, wasn't humble, Lord forgive me, devil tricked me.
This was kind of the weird ass harmony bus thing. Looks like I really did just cop out and use a hi-hat loop. I don't care, man. What are we, the sample police? This is other parts of the track, but I ran it through new processing just to give it that sort of weird pad sound.
One day I'll die, locked and loaded.
So here's with all that turned off. Let's see what it sounds like. And then
Live for others, bigger picture, solve the puzzle, piece together.
he's not wrong. I did solve the puzzle. So this has been Thankful Grateful. I really appreciate you watching this walkthrough. Hopefully you found some value or some insight into the process and the chaos of that process. There are many other walkthroughs and many other approaches I've taken, so feel free to check out some of those and like and subscribe to all that stuff. Goodbye. Peace.
Live for others, bigger picture, solve the puzzle, piece together.